But I mean, the thing with side hustles, with a lot of people, because you meet lots of people and they say they are thinking of starting, they need an alternative source of income. They want to start a side hustle, but they rarely ever pull the trigger. And I think their issue is trying to find a side hustle that works for them. So here are just a few tips on how people can find side hustles that work for them. And to explain this, I'll use myself. The first thing is, what are you talented at? When you want to take on a new side hustle, first of all, look at your inherent talents. What are you good at? Lots of people, a common side hustle for lots of people is cooking or catering, and people that do that, it's because they have a flair for cooking or they're just really good at it, and it's something they've been doing probably since childhood. With me and my talent, I still say my main hustle or my main source of income is photography. So let's say, photography is my main hustle. And then I delved into videography because I feel like I have a flair for video and a flair for communicating, my point across. So that's, what I was talented at. And that's what led to me starting my YouTube channel, and which is doing rather okay for now. The second thing is, what do people want? This is tricky because by default we tend to go to or want to produce what we want. We feel like, oh, I don't have this, so there are other people who don't have this, so let me produce this thing or let me create this thing. That doesn't necessarily work that way. The best situation would be to find a convergence between something that you want and something that the market wants as well. So what do people want? When I started my YouTube channel a few years ago, I started well, my YouTube channel started with photography tutorials, but I found that, and I was trying to cater to fellow photographers in Nigeria as to how to go about photography. But the problem I identified was that my fellow photographers in Nigeria would rather watch the tutorials or the videos from foreign photographers who are more sophisticated and who are just better at communicating the art of photography, and who have many more years than me under their belt. So I shelved that and I moved into other things. I moved into talking about relationships before I moved into talking about personal finance. So the third thing is, what is an underserved market? For Loladi now, apart from thinking about what she's talented at and thinking about what people want, she should also look at what is an underserved market, which area isn't too crowded, but there is actually a need for that. Something I'm looking around now, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, they're sadly getting divorced. Yes, yes. Very painful. And now lots of people are questioning the institution of marriage. 27 years. 27 years out the window, just like that. So lots of people are, single people who were worried about finding the one are even more worried now. So I think now there's a need for maybe dating services or just something around relationships and just making dating work and make people have faith in the institution of marriage again. So that, I believe, is an underserved community, and not necessarily because either relationship coaches or churches or religious institutions that champion that cause. So maybe someone else. I think that's an underserved market, but that's a deviation. The last two, what do you have a comparative advantage in? What do you do? It could be speaking, like you guys here at UFM. Each of you are really good speakers. That's why you work on the radio. And the funny thing about being talented at something or having a comparative advantage at something is that you're so used to it that you think that everybody else does it, and you become a bit desensitized to it. You need to remind yourself that, look, this thing that I can do is unique and I could potentially monetize it, and then try and run with it. So Lolade should try and identify her comparative advantage. What does she do that most other people can't, and what does she do that's unique? Finally, what would you do for free if you could? Lots of people who are now influencers or, even sports people and musicians. I mean, look at all the Justin Biebers and, Ushers and all the 90s R&B stars. They were singing anywhere they could find a place to sing, and if they had an audience for one, they'd sing in the mall. Toni Braxton was discovered at the fuel station filling up her car. So they're just doing it for doing its sake over the years. And, and sadly, that's why many of them got ripped off, because they can do it for free. They love doing it. They now signed deals that didn't favor them. But identify what it is that you could do for free. And this is essential because the money won't come immediately. I think my YouTube channel started in 2014. I didn't start seeing money from my YouTube channel up until 2017 or 2018. I really wasn't thinking about money for the longest time. And luck plays a factor in all of this. So, yeah, but it's something that I was just doing for the heck of it. And today it's, so far this year, it's been my biggest earner, in terms of my streams of income. So yeah, those 5 things, and those are the 5 ways that you can find the side hustle that works for you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, now it's a very interactive show.